You're live. Live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Coach Soul Expression.
Good day, I'm Coach Tensi.
We are Ufulu Child, and we are on episode 45 of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. As you may know, this follows our 5-prong healing system, which consists of the concepts of be, cleanse, fuel, move, and shine. And today is Friday, so it's Shine Day.
And just like the name of the podcast, our holistic healing system corresponds with holistic freedom. So true freedom from the inside out. And how that's done is through 5 daily things that we do every day to get us one step closer to that vision of holistic freedom that we have. And that's individually and collectively.
Absolutely. The 5-prong healing system was built out of necessity to help Coach Tensi's mom heal from cancer. It used to be 7 things, but now it's boiled down to 5 after consolidation and updated information, if you will. And it's just 5 things that you can do every day that don't really take any time, and you don't have to add any hours to your day, so that you can practice holistic health and holistic healthy lifestyle. As well as, and holistic also includes like spiritual and connection to people and things like that. And on Shine Day, we especially Shine Day and B Day, we especially tap into the spiritual. But today, we're talking about community, so more physical and more down to earth, if you will. So today's episode is entitled Community. I gotta scroll back down to it.
Community wellness.
Bartering,
service exchange, and sustainable living.
Absolutely. And in this episode, we're basically going to talk about fostering sustainable health and well-being in a community sense, right? We'll discuss what barter and service exchange can do to create stronger, healthier communities, the importance of collective effort to achieving sustainability. And hopefully after this episode, you feel inspired to get into your communities and find out who does what or who can contribute what to a sustainable community in your local area, because it's been time for a long time to get back to the basics of connection and sustainability, as well as self-governance, right? Back to the basics of self-governance, meaning not being so dependent on the systems, that sort of try and mass distribute everything, but doing some things within your local communities and, within your own family that sustain you.
Yeah. So imagine a world where your skills and resources can really help sustain not just your family, your home, but also a entire community. And everyone that I come across in my sphere of influence tends to have a similar vision and within their minds of what freedom looks like for them. And it tends to have this collaborative effort behind the things that they're doing. There tends to be some service that they are doing in their communities. And one thing that I also notice is that, especially for myself, it's really how the small little things that we're doing, like maybe where do we go for our produce? Are we going to the big a grocery store like Walmart, or are we going to the farmer's market? Do we know the farmer? Like, all of this impacts our health, and it impacts our feeling connected to the community. And when we can get outside of the more transactional exchanges that we have with people, where it's just like a, hey, I'm just coming to do this one thing, and I'm not going to ask you about your family or how you're doing or anything like that. I'm not going to get to know you. I just want this thing, and then I'm a bounce and bye forever. Haha. When we get in that mode, and I have definitely been in that mode many a time, of not even wanting to like burden someone with the things that I know, or feeling as though it might not be the time or place to talk about personal things, when honestly there's this look on people's faces that I see, and it's like a yearning to be able to talk about some of the things. But it's an unspoken yearning that remains unspoken and in silence, and it just, we go on to the next thing, and then we and then I am left at least wondering, hey, if I maybe mention that, you mentioned that thing with your kids going on, but I actually know how to heal that. I actually know what to do. I wish I had spoken up, because things that we know, it's we can make such a big ripple effect and a big impact when we actually share them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And so, what we are talking about in general terms is service exchange and barter. And these are very related. The definitions overlap, although you can kind of think about them as two uh, effective methods of sustainable community. Barter is like, let's say, Coach Tensi makes juice, right? She makes really, really good beet juice or something like this, right? And
Or whole
uh,
body butter.
Coach Soul over here, right? Or whole body butter. And Coach Soul over here, he grows carrots. Barter exchange can be thought about as like a physical exchange of goods that you have, where you're exchanging something that other person would go and buy from a store and spend their money on, for something that you would go buy from the store and spend money on, and neither of you spend money. You already need the thing, you already need the other thing, and so you do a barter exchange, or bartering um, act, and that results in you having the thing that you wanted and you didn't have to go buy it, and them having the thing that they wanted and they didn't have to go buy it.
Yeah.
So that's like barter. And then service exchange is, let's say Coach Tensi uh, is great at cleaning or does hair, some sort of service like thing, right? And Farmer Jim, he's a gardener and a farmer, where Jim may host something at a community garden or come by Coach Tensi's home and do something for her in exchange for her doing something for him, that again, he doesn't have to go to the salon, or he doesn't have to go to uh, uh, hire out, a maid service or cleaning service. But in exchange for him doing the service for Coach Tensi does the service for him, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So service exchange and barter, again, definitions, they overlap, but this is um, a concept or two concepts that are super duper effective in sustainable community efforts.
Yeah. Especially if what you're looking for is freedom, then that would also include financial freedom. And with inflation where it's at these days, and I mean, we are in this very hustle culture because it's out of necessity, honestly, because of how high the grocery bill is, or stuff like that. We have to find a way through and around um, some of the hurdles, and sometimes working three jobs. is not the sustainable solution. Okay, it's just not. It's not. Especially if you're looking to be there and present with your family, we have to find other means. And so, with this sort of barter exchange, like one story that I'm thinking of in our lives is back in uh, when we were first starting out in music. We started out as a music performing artist, and we would create this healing music that always had like an empowering message. It was always like uh, it sounded bomb, but it also had like it was a vibe. Okay. Anyway, so when we were reaching out to venues to like book venues and do events and stuff, at first like we were having the hardest time as new artists trying to find a venue that, okay, this new artist, no one knows your name, like how are you going to put on a show and be able to draw people out to the show so that they enjoyed and spend money at that venue, right? That was the hurdle of that we were being met with, and all the venues are like, either they wouldn't respond or they'd be like, no, it's not really what we're looking for right now. Whenever we would reach out for shows. And so one of the days, one of the months, one of the years, we decided to put together a show called Freedom Night. And Freedom Night was an opportunity where we brought in local artists, and they were music artists, visual artists, healers, vegan restaurants, food trucks, people that are at the farmers markets trying to, get their products out to the world because they're healing and they're useful. Massage therapists, like all of the stuff in one space, so that we can all have a space to share our gifts and to be in community with each other.
And Freedom Night will come back to Austin, Texas.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was like we had volunteers, and all of it thereabout was, most of it was service exchange and barter, especially with the volunteers, and just knowing that there was so much time and love put into the event, but that people just wanted to be there because, one, the artists got a stage, the vendors got a place to vend that they didn't have to pay a fee to get in there, so there was like no barrier of entry. And the community got this super affordable, like $7 a ticket, and we gave away tickets for free. It was like amazing. But it just shows the power of using things like barter or service exchange to build community and to accomplish the things that you need to do. And then there's also like, can you talk about like collectively sustainable and kind of like that too?
So there's a movement that I have in mind that I have like this vision for a sustainable community where community members like myself, Coach Tensi, people in our community like 11 Moons 11 or other people, we have a goal that we're working towards, right? And this goal might be a year away from completion, 6 months away from completion. But every time that we come together, we're doing or contributing to the Freedom Five in all of our lives, all 5 elements of the Freedom Five in all of our lives in some way, shape, or form. So like I said, if Tensi makes the soup and 11 Moons 11 does, some spiritual coaching, and Coach Soul helps with fitness and meditation, and Person B, okay, baby, helps with the water, provides, alkaline water. Then all of us together, we come together and we barter and we service exchange these wonderful, holistically healthy and holistic freedom-based activities together before we even engage in that goal. Then we do the goal, right? And we also do the goal from a standpoint of sustainability, from a mindset of sustainability. and then we go home, right? And we meet up next Friday, or we meet up whatever,
next quarter or whatever it is.
and we're able to build a sustainable community off of that. And in doing that together, especially once we've mastered some things and we've caught a rhythm, then inviting more and more people into the sustainable community and into the rhythm of sustainable community becomes much easier and much more attractive. And the real point of this episode, I'll just get to the core of it, is to say that it doesn't take thousands of people to start a sustainable community.
I say it takes like 6,
maybe even 3 or 5, right? 3 to 5 people coming together and doing things that are collectively sustainable, learning things together as a community, having a goal, maybe a completely separate goal, maybe a goal based in technology or an invention of something, whatever, that's fine. But having a goal, working towards that goal, but doing so in a sustainable way, and bringing each other sustainable community activities and goods is like a vision that I have, that I want to start here in Austin, Texas, and I want to collaborate with Nature Boy. You should follow Nature Boy on Instagram. I can't remember his full handle.
Nature Boy Seals?
Seals? Yeah, I think so. I think that's right. Sorry if it's not right, Lawrence. But he already has an app and everything. Very, very amazing work that they're doing over at Farm Fresh 24/7. Sounds like a community I'd want to be a part of. Yeah. Where you signed up? Right here. Right here in the comments. You're already in.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
That made me so happy to see. I'm glad you're here.
But this concept of barter and service exchange and holistic health, as well as just holistic mindset, right? Just coming at things from how does this impact physical? How does this impact mental? How does this impact emotional and spiritual health of myself and the community? Whatever we're doing, or whatever I'm doing, or whatever part of the thing, if I'm not doing the whole thing that I'm doing, is something that we have to refoster again, to get back to the basics of just being humans and being good stewards of the land and being good stewards of the spiritual essence that drives us.
Yeah.
Right.
And for the longest time, like when I talk about sustainability and being self-sufficient, I would put self-sufficient at like the top of my list. And then I think it's really after I had my first child to where that started to shift into place, into more alignment, because you quickly realize how you cannot do everything yourself, especially as a new mom or new dad. It's just very clear that you need to lean into community. And so my vision at first, like earlier in life, was, okay, I'm gonna be self-sufficient, and I'm gonna I envisioned like this home with that was eco-friendly and that they had its own water source on the land that we owned outright, and that it was all connected with nature and everything that
and isolated from everybody else.
And isolated from everybody and their mom. And honestly, I don't know anyone that really thrives that way.
Right.
Or that maybe they do for a short time, but eventually it gets really lonely. And eventually you have to start to share the things that you know and build community so that you can pull the next person up, because we're not free unless everyone is free.
Yeah.
And that's from mental bondage. That's from the bondage of the systems that we find ourselves in, like the financial systems, the medical systems, all the things that,
and bondage to ignorance.
So we have to get free together. And when someone knows a piece, like I don't know permaculture, I don't know how to spot the edibles out there in the forest. I don't know.
Me either.
But I do know how to brew some teas to heal. I do know nutrition.
I know how to shoot, but I don't know how to hunt. I can't.
So, there's pieces that other people in the community know.
Yeah.
I don't know certain things with driving traffic and marketing and stuff. So
yeah, but we can come together and exchange services, barter with each other, not have to worry so much about the money that has to be spent to just go and hire somebody who's a super duper expert, and localize our progress. Right, we don't have to be so spread out. I don't have to work. I'm in Texas. I don't have to work with somebody in California and New York and Montana.
And we can.
In order to we can, but I don't have to seek out these people that are already doing it way far away. But we can localize our progress together and evolve, so that eventually that localized circle grows and grows and grows and touches another localized circle that's already growing in and of itself, touches another, and spreads across the nation and eventually the world.
And that's why I feel like a combination between the virtual space like this and in person, I'm being able to hug you. The local communities you need both, because in order to really make a big impact on the world, which is just what's going to be necessary in order to shift the trajectory of suffering that the world is in right now, it takes being able to scale something. It takes being able to start small. And let's not have transportation be a barrier. Let's not have money be a barrier. Let's not have all these things be a barrier. Let's apply the things that we know.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully this episode was a big inspiration for you. This is the Holistic Freedom Secrets Podcast. Again, I'm one of your hosts, Coach Soul.
And I'm Coach Tensi. It's been a joy. Hey, awesome. On Instagram, we got some people.
Is that Dot? What up?
Good day, love.
We are very, very, very excited that you guys are still rocking with us. It's episode 45. We will see you on Monday morning for episode 46, where we get back into B-Day, where we talk about mentality as well as mindfulness and all of those
mastery,
things.
Spirit, all the things.
Make sure you leave some comments. Talk about how your ideas for a sustainable community.
I want to see them. We need the perspectives.
Your experiences with sustainable community, whether they were successful or unsuccessful yet. And like, subscribe, follow, do all the things to let the algorithm know that you like this content, that you think other people would like it. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Take care, loves.